It's always good to have you guys here with us again on this Thursday, this live. I want to talk to you guys about what we have experienced in our life as a married couple, what it's like to be married. Don't forget to hit that notification and subscribe all the time. So what do we want to talk
wait.
about? What?
For those of you who don't know,
Oh.
I'm Shauni.
And I'm Mondi, and we've been married for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes. Forgot there's going to be new people too.
Right.
Our channel. Silly me. Right. So this is our live here about what it's like to be married.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting ride to say the least. You know, but it's been a lot of fun. We've had some ups and downs. We've been through some rocky times, some challenging times, and I think those are the things that have made our marriage more solid.
Yeah.
Solidified it.
Sure.
You know, it's been those hard times where we've seen who's true.
Yeah.
We've been tested, been through the fire, and when you go through the fire with someone that you love, it just joins you guys together even closer.
Yeah. You know, being married is great when you are married to the right person.
Yeah.
Right? Because being married to the wrong person, not that they were a terrible human being, you know, people do things, you know, it depends on who you are and how you can get through, and life is too short.
Yes.
You know, I got to be happy.
Yeah.
And when things, like I was saying on a lot of the videos, when things do not go well in the relationship, it takes two people, okay, to kind of come together and work through the situation, right? But marriage can be great if, and only if, you are married to the right person.
Absolutely.
You know, think about this. You go off and get married for the sake of getting married, right? Because a lot of people, even though you're with your partner and you love your partner, it does not necessarily mean that you guys were made for marriage.
True.
You get what I'm saying? Because that type of lifelong commitment requires commitment.
Yeah.
Okay? And you have to be ready. Everybody has to be ready for that sort of thing, because it is not going to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy, right?
Yeah, maybe you guys were meant to be together for the moment.
Correct.
You know, what's that thing? Everybody comes into your life for a season.
Or you know,
lifetime.
Or a lifetime.
Yeah, and your marriage is supposed to be the lifetime.
Correct.
So you have to determine whether or not this is a seasonal event.
Yeah.
You know, or they coming in for a certain reason.
Yeah. You can't just want to get married just because you want to be married. You know, it just doesn't quite work like that, right? And it just doesn't work out in general when you just get married for the sake of being married. You get what I'm saying? You have to know that that this person is the right person for you.
Yeah.
And not only that, you can't go having children thinking that is going to solve the problem and solve the issue of them wanting to get married, and then when you get married, it's going to solve everything.
Nope.
I can't believe that people still believe that in 2021 that marriage is going to save a relationship and want somebody to get married to you.
No, kids will complicate it. They are a blessing in themselves, but they will complicate a marriage if you guys were not meant to be together.
Correct.
So the last thing you want to do is go on and have some kids with somebody who you are not meant to be with long term.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
But marriage in and of itself is great, right? I think there's going to be ups and downs in any relationship, period, right? Because you're two different people.
True.
Right? And you're trying to join your lives together. And that is no easy feat.
Nope.
Okay? Now, marriage is work, but it shouldn't be like excruciating, back-breaking labor.
No. Shouldn't be tedious.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it should not be like that. That's painful.
Yeah.
That makes it not fun. It's
Right.
not enjoyable.
No.
Listen, you're going to have hard times.
Sure.
There's going to be times you guys are just not on the same page. You go through rough patches. It gets rocky, but it shouldn't be hard.
I mean, it shouldn't be like difficult.
Right.
It shouldn't be like super. If you got to work that hard, you get what I'm saying, at something, I don't know that it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's just like, say for instance, they're gonna, I don't know, somebody's gonna pay you to play a piano in your concert,
Okay.
right? But you got to play for 3 days in a row straight
God damn.
for $20.
That ain't worth it.
Is it worth all that labor? No, it's not.
No.
You don't play 20 minutes for $20. you get what I'm saying? You know, you just don't. Okay, so, and it should not be
Right.
that freaking hard.
And a lot of that comes, the reason why, and I'm not going to say the only reason why, but part of the reason why it is so hard is because both people are not on the same page as far as their goals, as far as their values, as far as how they want how they see the marriage going. Some people come into the marriage with baggage that they haven't resolved before they came into it.
Yes.
And then they bring it to the marriage, and now it's a part of the marriage.
Oh,
and it's manifesting itself every day.
Oh, good Lord. This how come I don't see how people run off and get married in Vegas after 2 weeks
That's ridiculous.
of knowing each other, right? And you know that you know that you know. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You have no freaking idea. Now, does that mean that it never works out? Of course not.
No.
Yeah, sometimes it works out.
Yes.
But most of the time it don't.
No. Sometimes you look up in a Vegas trip and find the right one. But most of the time, no.
Most of the time just ain't gonna work.
Just like the odds in Vegas, they are against you.
Right. Exactly. Knowing somebody like 2 minutes and then getting married, that is not the move to make. I'm telling you that right now,
Nope.
because marriage is not a game.
No, it's not.
It's not a joke. You know what I mean? And I don't want to scare people against marriage because, like I said, marriage to the right person can be phenomenal. Like that's my slick partner right now.
Partner.
Okay? And we have lots of fun together. We get in a lot of trouble together. You know what I mean? Yes. And we have a great time. But not now.
Yeah.
But because we have worked out all the kinks, you see. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's been 12 years full, over 12 years fully being together, and then
10 plus.
10 plus married, right? So we have worked out all the kinks, right? But in the beginning,
it was really rocky, boy. It was rocky, let me tell you. Two alphas going at it, like, not physically fighting, but verbally going after each other like we were assassins. You know?
God.
And that's because, and I was thinking about it today, I was like, why did we go at each other like that?
Yeah.
It was partly because we didn't have the words to express how we felt.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't, my pride got in the way, her pride got in the way. She was always right, I was always right. Nobody wanted to concede.
Right.
And nobody wanted to take the time to think, okay, let me just think about that other person's part, or
Correct.
how they feel.
Correct.
And until we did that, that was when, we actually started to make progress.
Yeah. Like I said before, many people don't know that, I said it probably 2 or 3 times on a couple of videos, is that he left. See, he was a runner, you see. Okay. And and he talked about I think we put a clip up or a shirt or something up about his explanation and the reason why some guys run when things get difficult, right? And he was explaining, what were you explaining about that's what you see, or a lot of times the male figure is not there, or they take off running when it gets rough or gets tough.
We don't want to be confronted.
Yeah.
We don't want to have our egos challenged. We don't want to have our pride tested.
Right.
And if you've never been around situations where you seen the person stay in the relationship while there's troubled times and work it out.
Yeah.
You don't have that as a go-to.
Right.
You don't have that as a thing to pull from. Well, I saw my dad or my uncle or my grandpa pull, stay in it. They talked it out. They sat down. They worked it out.
Yeah.
And then, they stayed together.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't have that, which is why we run. And then it becomes easy to run because it's like, I ain't got to deal with this. There's more efficiency.
Wow, yeah.
And it's real irresponsible, but that's the attitude.
Yeah. And it's real unfortunate, right? Because a lot of times they miss out or could possibly miss out on a great family, right?
Yeah.
And needless to say, he was a runner, right? But I did not make it easier for him to stay. Okay? Because honestly speaking, and people don't want to be real about it, women don't want to be real about it, but a lot of times you be part of the problem. You get what I'm saying? And my mouth was on 30,000 when I was mad. I mean, 30,000.
And there was no calming her down.
No.
That was the thing, is we could have worked through a lot of stuff had she calmed down, but once she got to a point, it's still to this day, it's kind of hard to, she's a lot better at calming down, but she doesn't even get to that point like it was before.
Right.
But back then, it was on, like you said, 30,000, and it was hard to calm down. And then once the calmness came, that's when we were able to talk through things and work things out.
Yeah. But then it'll happen again, right? Because we did not have the tools that we need because we didn't see it.
Nope.
Okay? That it was nowhere around us.
Nope.
That anybody had the tools in knowing how to be in a relationship properly.
Other than the Huxtables,
That's all we had.
That's all we had. And, for me growing up, it was, before that, it was, you watched the Brady Bunch, but they didn't argue.
Right.
They didn't really argue. They had
Right.
little tiny disagreements and
Right.
stuff like that. But that was not arguing. That didn't prep you for real
talked,
life.
They talked through things. And we was like... But then when we saw the Cosby Show, we was like, whoa. I think a lot of kids, black kids, was like, wow, what an awesome family.
I want that.
I want that. I wish I had that.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
And you had something else to strive for other than what you saw around you. So you saw Claire and you saw, Cliff, and they talked through things.
Yes.
But it never got heated.
Right.
And that's where we kind of missed the mark early on.
Yes. And, we were watching Married at First Sight, I think it was, and the two Asian kids, Bao and Johnny, and they was, we just keep arguing, and I was like, when?
That's not an argument.
I ain't seen no argument. That to me, that was a discussion.
And it was a calm one.
I mean, super calm. And I was like, maybe I missed something here. Maybe
we missed the episode.
Maybe that's how Asians get down. Maybe that's the extent of the arguing. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But I was like, that, I mean, for that was super calm.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, when I compared it to how the people around us would behave.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But it wasn't until like I got older and let me back up for a second. When I said it was a lot of time, it was me that did not make it easier for him to stay because, like I said, my mouth was on 30,000. Once I was gone, I was gone. There was no bringing me back. That one, I had to literally fall asleep, okay, and wake up the next day and be like, "Whoa, what did I do?"
She's blackout queen now.
You know what I mean? And then, I would be sorry. But I would also be indignant. You get what I'm saying? As in, well, I ain't apologizing, because you did this, da 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 da. It was always somebody else's fault. Yeah. Okay? And it wasn't until he left, because I had walked away from many of relationships, right? Because I just ain't had time for it. maybe I didn't care enough. I don't know what my deal was, but it was like, I don't need this. I'm out, right? But when he left, it was different, and I was like, whoa, I feel a ways. You know what I mean? Like, I feel a ways for real. And so that was when I started to think to myself, yo, is it really worth it to let him walk away? Take a look at yourself for a second. Is everything cool with you? Because in my mind, everybody else was the fault. Everybody else was the problem, except for me. What I do? I didn't do anything. I ain't, I did this, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is that I was indignant. I was angry. I was disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? I was, what else? Like, what else?
As far as what? Attitude?
Right.
I mean,
that was causing the problem.
I mean, that's
pretty much it, right? And I mean, and I had to take a look at that. You know what I mean? And I had to start to get myself together, and I had to come to the conclusion or resolution that I needed to work on myself internally, because I was angry and did not know why I was angry until I started working on myself and found out, look, this is not anger at all. This is pain.
Yeah, that's pain.
It is pain and frustration coming out in anger, right? And so I had to deal with myself internally first, right? And then I had to go to him and humble myself and say, you know what? I'm sorry, right? I've been a real jerk, and it's because I did not know how to talk and handle and discuss things. My communication was terrible. Yeah. I mean, both of our communication was
bad.
Garbage.
It was bad. Mine was bad to the point where I would, even when I seen her working on herself and we would have a little blow up, my attitude would just be like, where I'm not acting right.
Right.
Where I'm blowing up.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm just trying to talk to you.
Right.
And she'd be all calm. You know that calm woman talk? I just want to talk. I'm not angry. Why are you yelling?
Right.
I'm not yelling. That kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then I have to sit back and realize, okay, dude, you doing too much.
Yeah, and then I'm like, and then I'll be, okay, well, I can't talk like this. Right? Because here's the thing. I know that if I am pushed to a certain level in anger, it is extremely difficult for me to calm down. So I keep myself in a place of peace. I don't put myself in situations that I am, that I can allow that to happen, and it generally only happens with my loved ones. Okay? The people that I love is the only one that knows how to really tick me off.
Yep.
Everybody else, I was like, man, look, I done been through so much in my life and overcome so much in my life. What you trying to hurt my feelings?
Right.
Yeah, find somebody else because it ain't work on me. You know what I mean? But I had to humble myself.
Yeah, and I would say that's key. So if you're in a situation where, you guys are not meeting eye to eye, somebody has to be that person that humbles himself and says, okay, let's talk. I acknowledge my part. I've not been doing right. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Somebody has to say that.
Yeah.
And that's got to be the opening. You got to give people a way out.
Yeah.
You have to give people a chance. If you back them into a corner, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight.
Yeah.
So you got to give them a way out.
Yeah. I with marriage, for me, honestly, I did not ever think about getting married. I didn't. And honestly, ironically enough, I had two in a possible.
Like a spade hand. Like a bad spade hand.
Like a spade hand. One, I was like, he was a great person, but I just knew that it wouldn't work out long term. And I was like, some said, hey, he about to get ready to propose. You better. Cause I had been delaying it, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, because he's such a good person. You get what I'm saying? And I said, you better do it now. He's gonna propose. And sure enough, I found out during the breakup that he was going to propose, right? And then so you know, it's almost like when you're not looking for marriage, it kind of like just falls in your lap.
Yeah, that what you resist persists.
Right. Yes. But I think a part of that was the fact that I loved myself. I was confident within myself, and I was good by myself. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, I mean, I had friends, I had boyfriends. I was cool with that. You know what I mean? I wasn't rushed. It was no pressure for me to get married, really. You get what I'm saying? But back to it, I had to humble myself, and come to him and talk to him, and then it was rough going for a while, right? Because like he said, now he in the mode of arguing because that's what we were doing, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would get to the point where I would shut down and not talk to him, and I felt like I couldn't talk to him about stuff, right? Because of the way he responded to things. Response. You get what I'm saying? And also, he was shut down, or it was just a mess, right? So I don't know who came to who. Who came to who? It was like, look, I think I came to you, and I was like, look, I feel like I can't talk to you. Yeah. And that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be doing this for a lifetime. I got to be able to come to you when something concerns me, or I'm upset about something, or we need to work something out, right? I need to be able to do that. And right now, I feel like how you respond to things, I feel like I cannot talk to you about anything.
Yeah, that was my PTSD. That was me with my post-traumatic stress reacting in the way that I would normally react under our stressful situations. Yeah. And not knowing that it wasn't a stressful situation, right? But I just had that response, right? And it was just a trigger response that, okay, oh, dang it, you are doing it. Yeah. Dang it, you are doing it. Yeah. Once I realized how I was responding, it made it easier for us to talk. Right. And I think that's key, because anytime you're in a situation and someone is saying you're doing something, they're looking at you. You don't see yourself. Correct. So you just have to take a step back and listen and say, okay, am I doing that? Mm-hmm. Am I really doing that? And if you're humble enough to say, okay, I might be doing that, let's talk.
Everybody got to humble themselves, right? And that's how we got to the place that we're at now, because everybody took a piece of themselves and calmed it down, right? And readjusted it. And we worked on, we negotiated, okay, how to make this thing work. Well, how you do this right there, and that, that bothers me, and that makes me upset. Well, you do this right there to make me upset. And then, okay, so what would work, for you, so that it can make you feel comfortable and vice versa.
And that was key. Once she asked me that, what will make you feel good or make you feel better, that was like, oh, I can tell her. Mm-hmm. And once I told her what I need in a response and in talking, it was really a lot easier from that point on. Mm-hmm. Our fights would get smaller and smaller. Our recovery time would become faster and faster, and we would bounce back from any kind of disagreement we had much quicker.
Absolutely. And now we don't even argue. Mm-mm. We can really, if something is getting on the other person's nerve, or you made me mad about something, or you pissed me off about something, I can just come to him and I'm like, yo, that thing you did, that made me feel some type of way. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't really dig it, and I feel like it's some tension between us right now, and I don't want that. Yeah, and you have to stop and okay, am I? And then just say, okay, check it. No, this is not what it is. It's not what it seems. Yeah. Hey, we good. Yeah. You got to reassure. Yeah. Whoever it is that you're in the relationship, you have to reassure them that it's good. Because if you do not reassure them it's good, you're gonna leave it up to their own mind to think, oh, okay, well, it's not good. Yeah. Also, a thing that issue that we had that we got worked out was the fact that he did not feel safe talking to me about his feelings. And that's another thing that made us get closer once we worked it out. He didn't feel comfortable with telling me his feelings because he thought that I would bring it back up at him at a later time, or I would use it against him in some way, or I would, say that he's this, that, or da. So he didn't feel safe coming to me and talking to me about things, And when I found that out, I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and in the past, I I might have said something in the heat of a moment.
Sure.
But because I had a chance to work on myself and change myself from the inside out, and I was determined to work on our marriage, you know, so that it would be a smooth sailing, happy marriage, you know, I was like, wow, you know what? I'm so sorry for that. You know, I'm so sorry for making you even feel that way,
Yeah.
you know, because I don't ever want that to be a thing that you can't tell me how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Right? And he started to do it little by little. You know what I mean? It wasn't straight away where he just telling me that he would tell me one little thing and I see how I would react. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was good. That was positive. He'll tell me another thing, see how I react, until it got to the point where he tell me all the time now. And I'm like, word? Yeah. He was, I was like, well, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do that.
And like you said, it's creating a safe space for that other person, because if that other person doesn't feel safe talking to you, they're going to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go somewhere else, be it a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or, you know, co-worker, you know, family member.
A friend.
Mm-hmm. Job husband.
Uh-huh. Job wife.
Job wife. That person that listens.
Yep.
And gives them the advice that they want to hear.
Yeah.
So be open to listening to what your partner is saying, and just calm it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to want to react.
Yep.
Because you're biased in the situation.
Yep.
They may be telling you something about you that you don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to conflict with your ego. Your ego is going to tell you, no, I'm perfect.
Right.
Which you're not.
Right.
So if you can check your ego and listen to what they're saying, then they'll be more comfortable in talking to you.
Yeah. And we've gotten to the point where it's so easy breezy now. Sometimes I be looking for, like, when people come at us online, I'm like, this is great, because now I can get my verbal back and forth going. Now, I don't argue with people. I'm not doing that. Y'all ain't finna disturb my peace. If you're gonna argue, you're gonna argue by yourself. Okay? But I don't mind having a back and forth discussion. I think as adults, we should be able to have a back and forth conversation.
Healthy discussion.
Right, healthy discussion about what we feel, you know, back and forth, without it turning into a thing, right? But it gives me an outlet, because I like debating. I do.
Especially if you got a strong point. If you got a strong point, debating is easy.
Easy breezy. And I like debating, right? And so our relationship is so smooth sailing now, we don't even debate. Like, there's really nothing to debate.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the back and forth online, thank y'all so much, because that helps me to, you know, to get that part of me, you know.
Keep your skills sharp.
Yeah, keep my skills sharp and keep me, you know, on point. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the back and forth. I enjoy the hearing your opinion, you hearing my opinion. You don't agree with me, and I'm going to tell you why you should.
Yes. And then you tell her why you don't agree.
You tell me why I should. Because with me, if you give me a good point, I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
It's a boo.
And tell, you know, and I don't mind being told if I'm wrong about something, not at all. But you got to prove it to me.
You gotta bring it.
But guys, being married is a great thing when you are married to the right person.
Yes.
Because if you are not,
Yes. And how you can avoid not being married to the wrong person, or how can you can avoid being married to the wrong person, is do your due diligence.
yeah.
Check them out.
Yeah.
You know, spend some time with them first before you pull the trigger.
I'm sure they're gonna spend some time when they probably in a relationship.
Not if they're doing the Vegas thing, you know.
Oh no, most people don't do that. I was just joking about that.
Yeah, but you're right though.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna spend time with them, but I mean, like, check them out. Check them out first before you move. What are you doing? Check them out as far as, like, how their attitude is, how they respond to you, how do they, you know, deal with the confrontation.
Value system.
Value system.
Most important.
What do they think? What do they believe?
Mm-hmm.
Do they want kids?
Yeah.
Do they beat kids?
Yeah.
Do they discipline kids?
Yeah. Do they want to raise them in church?
Do they
or
want
not?
to raise them in church? Are they Muslim? Are they Catholic? Are
Right.
they Christian?
Right.
You know, you got to talk these things
How you
out.
feel about long-term? We call them foundational. You have to talk
Yes.
about the foundational things and find out if your paths align, right? And see if you're on the same path, right? Because that is the foundation. Everybody know the foundation of the house is one of the most important things. It's actually the most important thing in the whole house, right? Because if that's jacked up, then everything on top gonna crumble, right? So if you got to make sure y'all's foundation is the same. The important finances, where you want to live, do you mind moving? Y'all got to find out all of that stuff first, right? Before you take that leap, because if y'all foundational things do not align,
It's gonna be problems.
it's gonna be problems. It's gonna, that's gonna be a quick crumble.
Easy, quick
Easy, because what we had, our foundational things aligned.
First and foremost.
Like darn near perfectly. But what we had to get over was all the other little stuff.
The ego.
What kind of drapes? What kind of paint? You know what I'm saying? All the egos and being right, being wrong. You get what I'm saying? Being right, being wrong, egos, changing oneself, realizations, all that sort of stuff.
Pride.
Yeah.
Those things that keep you from advancing in life and in your relationship. Those things that are internal.
Yeah.
It's the internal things that keep you from advancing.
Absolutely.
It's generally not so much what the other person does. It's how you respond and how you feel about it.
Yeah.
And you guys talk those things out. It's so easy to just talk it out.
Yeah.
Just sit and talk. Say, man, this is what's bothering me.
Yep.
And
sometimes people don't have people that know how to communicate properly, or they themselves don't know how to communicate properly, and then it turns into a whole situation that is no bueno.
No bueno.
Okay? And the problem comes in is when nobody wants to change, right? One thing I would tell somebody, if the other person does not, they're in a relationship and they're trying to change things and the other person don't want to change, go ahead and start changing it by yourself.
They'll see it.
Okay? Start changing, thinking about how you contribute, what you contribute that's not good for the relationship, and you start changing that. Start thinking about your internal self and things that you need to change internally for yourself, and you start changing for yourself. Now, either one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to see the change and they're going to start be like, okay, what's going on? What they got going on here? And they're going to start changing, or they'll stay still and stay the same. And then you will know at that point that they are not ready to move to the next level.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's an attitude change. It could be an attitude change. It could be an emotional change. It could be a physical change where you start working out.
Yeah.
Once you working out and your partner's not working out, and you going to the gym or you exercising in the house and they're not, they're going to notice that.
Yeah.
And if that's part of your change process, they're going to see it.
Yeah.
You're going to start getting finer. You know what I mean? You stop eating foods, certain foods, your diet.
Don't start eating food now. You got to live.
You stop eating certain foods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're getting your diet right. You're getting your workout right. You stop, all those things are part of the change.
Yeah. But it's more. See, don't go into that physical. They'll say, everybody, you talk about physical, they gonna leave me because I'm back. It's not mostly about that.
No.
The main thing is mental and emotional change. No.
True. No, you're right. But I was just mentioning that if a person is changing physically as well, if that's a part of their change, when people get fed up, waiting to exhale. What was that? With a woman, she cut her hair off.
Yeah.
And she working out. And, you start getting fine, and whatever it is that you're doing, you're feeling good. You're changing inside. You're just
changing in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the whole getting better process.
Yep.
Your partner will notice it.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're gonna leave it right there.
Yeah.
That's enough. We've spoken way too long.
We have.
But we love you. We love talking. We talk our heads off. Guys, if you heard anything you like, dislike, you want to talk about, comment, drop it in the comments box below. We want to hear from you.
Yes. indeed, guys. And we are going to see you guys same time, same place, 8 p.m. sharp next week. See y'all. Peace.